Baby, roll me away. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I am time traveling and a little bit early. But hey, I met myself coming and going, and that's cool. So, how are you? Man, I'll tell you what, this is the place to come if you really want to get, like really in the groove. I mean, the song selection, phenomenal, Franny. I'm telling you, girl, you should go and become a DJ. Yeah. And Al and the rest of them, wow, far out. Love it, love it. Listening to the Stones. We're excited here in Denver. They're coming in, and I've seen them a number of times. And Mick and the boys, you know, hey, listen, it's like this. You can say whatever you want about old age, but I'm going to tell you what, Mick Jagger has still got the moves, baby. And he'll go. I tell you what, Jagger can go up against any rapper, anyone in the 20s. The dude is that talented. Hello, everyone. Hello from Australia, man. 6 o'clock in the morning. Peace, man. That's all I got to say. Hello, everyone. Al and Patrick, how are you doing? Susan, Emperor Rex, Joe Sapien, good to see you. Cheesesteak 22, love it. Joyce, hello. Think Agape Love, always. Peace. Franny, already said hello to you, but hello again. Milton, I think you're the one that is in Australia. So how are you doing? Yeah, he's got the moves. I tell you what. Sylvia, good to see you. And Tammy and Allison, hello. Leslie, David Barry, how are you? Blanca, EO, good to see you. And Jane and Light and Frog. Now, I like that handle. That's a cool one. Enlightened Frog, that is just far out. Susan, good to see you. And Kay, Eric, how are you doing? Man, Michigan, good to see you, David. Jessica and Claire, and man, oh man, oh man. We're just a rocking here today. The energy is, hey, and the spirits are talking. Yeah, they're talking. That's all I got to say. So, welcome from the state of Colorado. Cold front just went through. So here it is, the first day of summer. And here in Colorado, those of you, Franny and Gilbert, and there's many others of you that live in the same generality of the area, it's going to get bare ass cold this weekend. Up in Steamboat, winter storm warnings in summer. 4 to 8 inches of snow heading up there. I'm telling you, folks, if you tuned in on my Steiger Perspective last night, where free speech is still heralded as the greatest gift that we can give to an individual person, and yeah, things are changing. Just wild. So let me just invoke favor upon you. Favor from all the intelligences. There's intelligence above us. And just invoking favor upon your life. May joy find you this day, and may it find you favorable to abide with you always. And may there always be more than enough for you. Complete restoration, nothing missing, nothing broken. And speaking of that, I know the young lady did not ask about this. I found out about this through Patrick, and we tried to help our own here. And listen, I know many are struggling, and they put on a brave face, and it speaks a lot to the tenacity of the strength of their soul, and it's admirable. There's just a group of, we're veterans in this group. I mean, many of us have, we've walked the talk and we've talked the walk, and we can do that because we have been there, baby. And anyway, so, Monday, we're going to have Warrior Princess Queen on, Lois, and we're going to see what we can do by help feeding her cause. And this situation I was unaware of, but let me just pull it up. I have left the link. This is Caroline. Y'all have seen her on here. She helps Patrick immensely. And, think about, even a couple of dollars, $5, I'm not going to get into the situation, but she's going to be homeless. And just see how you're led. That's all I can say. As I said, also send her, thoughts of more than enough. And many times we have to deal with situations that are not pleasant. And if we can help, then by all means, let's see what we can do. So thank you. Thank you for considering that. And we do our best. That's what it's all about. People helping people. I think there was a song like that, Barbara Streisand. Now, here's something that's probably going to really shock some of you. I like Barbara Streisand, her singing. Had a crush on her as a kid. I really did. I don't know how many of you saw the movie or even remember it. What's Up, Doc? Funny movie. I mean, hilarious. And anyway, so I digress. It's Friday, the strong end of the week. So we're going to have fun. I don't really have anything particularly, we get into such deep studies here. And sometimes you just need to kick back and kind of just, look at the things around. I still am an avid sky watcher, and, I keep the up to date in what's being found out. Now, I want to bring something up. Patrick is with our show on Tuesday, Talking with the Planets. Back in, I think it was February, I believe, and they kept saying, particularly Uranus, and that, there was something out there. Now, here's something about Uranus. The reason why we know Planet X, Planet 9, Planet X, however you want to frame it, exist is that we're going to discover something here today. Uranus was an accident. The reason why we found Uranus was because of the gravitational anomaly. The sky's a big sky. It's not like we can just go out there and say, oh, well, that's where something is. Vast distances between planets. I don't think people sometimes fully grasp the great void of distance. Yeah. So we got some cool stuff. And check this out. All right, so this is the first one. No signs of alien life in closest 1,300 stars, study says. We're left with 0 candidates. And the story goes on to say how they've been doing this work. I think it's in Virginia. They're using a radio telescope there. And they have been in a privately funded project to study 1,327 stars close to Earth. And they found no glaring, obvious evidence of extraterrestrial life. None. And, it's not to say that it's in West Virginia, as I thought. And how they're doing this, they're going through the radio spectrometry, the spectrums on there. And it could be that, maybe life isn't, or these intelligence aren't broadcasting it, that who knows. But, again, it kind of, when you think about this, we're kind of like all alone. I mean, whatever was on Mars got wiped out. and it's just leaving us, at least us in this temporal form that we consider to be life. Now, here is the coolest article. FoxNews.com, The Hunt for Mysterious Planet 9. It says astronomers across the globe are searching for an enormous undiscovered world dubbed Planet 9, which could change everything we think we know about the solar system. They know it's out there, such as its size. They know that it is potentially 10 times bigger than Earth, and it has a powerful gravitational pull. But Planet 9 is proving impossible to find, demonstrating how much we still do not know about what's in our own backyard. Now, this astronomer, Alan Duffy, he is a professor of astrophysics at Swinburne University. He gets into why this is a problem, but why we know it's there. These are the idea that the outer orbits of our solar system showed surprising behavior that can be explained by the gravitational pull of a very large, very distant world. It was in 2012, and Rodney Gnomes, an astronomer at the National Observatory in Rio de Janeiro, offered his theory that a giant planet that couldn't be seen was behind the disturbance. And what they're finding is that there is something out there that's causing perturbations. It's just not that easy. They go in to say that, but how you can declare the existence of a major planet without being able to see it or even vaguely pinpoint where it is? Well, they have the answer. Here's historical precedence. Here, because it's exactly how we found Neptune. The planet Uranus was discovered using a telescope in 1781, but it raised more questions than it answered. Put simply, Uranus wasn't where it was meant to be. It wasn't quite at the position that calculations indicated it should have. As the years passed, mathematics determined that there was an even larger or further out planet that was pulling its orbit. I think we have a mission, Patrick, on talking with the planets. That planet was Neptune, which was basically predicted to exist before it was discovered using math. It's a similar situation now where these tiny objects at the very outer edge of our solar system is what we call the Kuiper Belt, have very strange orbits. They seem to be all on one side. Now get that, this is really weird. Preferentially stacked. And the way to explain that is with the idea that Planet 9 has essentially flung them out there with its gravity. So it's basically like this. It's like the plane. If you want to say that this is normal, then what we're seeing is something with object after object, all indicating something like you would see in a blast. He estimates that Planet 9 is about 400 times further away from the sun than we are. So finding it is kind of like shining a torch westward from Sydney and hoping to see Perth with it. Yeah, it would be around 100 million times fainter than the faintest star we can see with our eyes. The issue is that there's an enormous amount of space to search. Even a very large planet, much larger than Earth, is very tiny at that distance. And they go on to talk about that we don't know its orbit. We can't find it. It could be estimated that it could take 10,000 years to orbit the sun. We still don't even know how large our solar system is. The solar system is deceptively large, it was Professor Duffy says here. He says it's equated to trying to find a needle that looks like a strand of hay in a giant haystack. Most people imagine that the various planets are relatively close together, and our telescopes have found everything in between them. Nothing could be further from the truth. The actual space in between is enormous. Even close to our Earth, the space is littered with enormous pieces of rock that we haven't been able to catalog yet or even detect. The further you get from the sun, the more challenging it becomes. To put the size of the solar system in perspective, Professor Duffy uses the Australian locations and landmarks to make his point. If the sun was the Sydney Opera House, then Earth would be orbiting closer than the airport, while the planet 9 would be circling as far as Perth. So the whole point to this is, as he says, something that large, so far out, will be fascinating. Will it be an icy world? Will it be a rocky one? Will it be potentially a gas giant? They don't know. They suspect it may be a much bigger size than what Pluto is. Hard to determine. And I find that to be fascinating when you think about the stuff that we just don't know. So I went into my archives and I pulled out some random shots. Now, I want to show you something that I think brings into perspective the, give me 1 second here as he tries to get himself out. Our DNA. Trina and I talked about this yesterday. And as it turns out, there's a story. And it's a fascinating one, folks. We talked about how literally we each could be creating universes. Well, now they have a telescope that can actually see the DNA, the mitochondrial DNA. Yeah. Check this out, folks. Is this just not far freaking out? Look at this. A new DNA microscope peers deep inside living cells. Look at that, folks. What does that look like? Almost looks like the universe, doesn't it? I got some stills of this. Check that out. Now, here's the strange thing about that. The plethora of colors, the luminescence of what we're seeing, that's life. That's what just amazed me when I was meditating on this. Each of us carry this within us. Look at that. It looks like a galaxy to me. I've seen galaxies like this. That's us. I think that we get so busy being busy that we never realize that within us, I don't know, unlimited potential universes. This is why we're here. This is what the discovery, this is why magic is so important to me. It's understanding the impact. I mean, we're beautiful people. I hope you tell yourself you're beautiful, because you are. Look what's inside of you. It's just freaking mind-blowing. I saw some of that stuff when I used to take LSD. I often wonder, in the book Aphrodite, it is not Aphrodite, it is Etidorfa. The man who began it all, as he's telling his story, is that what we find out that within each of us is a creation that we haven't yet to even discover. And when I see stuff like that, that just tells me that, you know, we've only just begun, baby. So let me pull up some cool stuff that I have. I think we'll find it fun. And I think I know how I have to do this. So let me stop this. So y'all just talk amongst yourself. Allow me my moment here. I'm going to be showing you a lot of different pictures. Trina sent some pictures in. Sue G, when she was in Mexico, sent some pictures. I have some pictures for you that I think you will find rather odd indeed. So let me see. Let me get back over here and I'll close that out and we'll get down to this. He's back. Here we go. So a little photo montage, if we will. This is Suji. I know it's really small and I'm going to make it much larger. When she was in Mexico on a trip, she captured, now she said she didn't see these, but, and I'm sorry, Steve, if I didn't quite get the facts right, but she captured these and discovered later what she had captured. This is a cave that they believe, and I want to make them spirits, extraterrestrials. I'm not really sure. But in any case, she captured several of them. Check that out, folks. See, this is why I know there's an afterlife. This is why I know the journey never stops. If you've lost a loved one, it's not lost. You'll meet them again. Energies, you know, there are ways that we will communicate. This is more DNA using this new microscope. Man, I'll tell you, we have we've seen this. I thought it was funny. Do y'all see the smiling face? It's like, hi guys, how you doing? Oh, it's you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're looking at you. Yeah. Getting yourself coming and going. All right. This is a picture that I took on the eclipse. Very strange how this temple opened up. It was, and you can begin to see it was just a strange, that whole eclipse. We're going to be talking more about that too. One of my favorite all times from Core 1. I have no idea what that was. And we got some more. So this is Miss Trina. Hi, Trina. Now, take a look here at her friends. They have such beautiful smiles. All right. What we're seeing here is actually beans. Look at that, folks. Seriously, I'm going to blow this up. Now, where it has its hands, I find that auspicious. But check it out. I really looked at this. This is, it's something. It's a spirit. It's a, Trina, I think you said these are the indigos. I think this is what she says. But they're clearly there. You can see that very distinct. When you really get this thing blown up, it really gets even stranger. Okay, let's continue. Told you this was going to be fun. Here's our friend Jupiter. It's changing. This was the UFO over Kansas City. Have no idea what's going on. UFOs are coming up everywhere. I think this was from the local ABC affiliate. People all over Kansas City yesterday noticed this orb, very large. It apparently moved over the airport. FAA recognized it. It showed up. So don't know. You tell me what's going on. This is Mars. When we discovered that there is a blue layer of what we would call Earth on Mars is pretty weird. And this was a recent crater, meteorite. And you can see how it hit, but our scientists can't figure out what all the blue is. It's really odd. And you can see how the crater came in and hit the meteorite, excuse me. You know, we're just having fun here, checking it out. All righty, is this the last? I guess this is the last. All righty, so we'll just stop share there. And give me 1 second. Because I've got something else lined. Oh, it wasn't the end. I see what happened. Okay. All right, so there is the one I wanted. Boom. So Uranus. Yes, I know the one planet that always gets made fun of, but it's quite spectacular is what we're finding. So these are new images. Uranus has rings around it. Pretty cool, huh? And here is the latest infrared picture of Uranus. You know, it still marvels me how these planets have their immense power generating whatever you want to call it. They generate huge amounts of energy. When I see something like this, I just marvel at what we're seeing out there. It kind of goes beyond descriptions when you think about it. So thought you might kind of really dig that. Now, I have some others. I think you're really going to stop share. There we go. All righty. I hope you're having fun. One of my favorite videos of all time, well, I got a lot of them from the ISS, was back in the days when it was still the wild outer space west and censorship hadn't come in and made it so incredibly difficult. I always marveled, this is the ISS, that how we get, and this is not a filter, this is the camera, just it's stationary, where we would literally get these pink sunrises. Now, what was so odd was that when you looked at what the normal supposed background was, but this was the actual video coming through. Yeah, kind of weird, you know, it's like, you know, how do we get these rose-colored events? I don't know. Strange, is it not? All right, I have more. So let me get into this one. I have several, so just give me a second. So don't know if you've seen this, but this is more recent footage from the moon, and we have visitors. You'll see them. There you go. See them? Here they come. Watch. There they go. Yeah, and this, by the way, is the new region that the Chinese, everybody wants to get to this region. It's also the region where we found that huge chunk of metal. Right there, folks. Isn't it odd that we see so much UFO activity? Yeah. Strange, I know. All right, got some more. Let me pull this up. This one is really weird. well, I'll let you decide. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so let me start the video at the beginning. I don't know, you tell me. Don't know. It's kind of weird. There is whatever. Now, I have seen this before, as others have, in different things. Is this a craft that is up there? Now, how many of you remember the X class flare that took place in September right after the eclipse? If Earth had been hit, been in the line of fire, so to speak, it'd have been a bad day. So as you can see, this is September 9th, 2017. This, what we're going to see is the X-class flare. I think they rated it, I think it was an X20, I think is what they finally measured it. This is one that went through us, and now you're going to see the eruption. Here it is. Imagine Venus was right in the line of fire. Mars took a direct hit. We took a glancing blow. There was computer systems fried, transformers were blowing up all over. But I think that what I just wanted to show you, this is what can happen to a planet that literally could strip the atmosphere away. Look at the size of what Venus took. It's an enormous storm. And I don't think that many people, their memories are so short, they don't actually remember all of this as it happened. But as you can see, that was no picnic for Venus or anyone else. Boy, I just got some others I just want to show you. We're just having a little bit of fun. Now, everyone is talking about Antarctica. Everyone talks about global warming and how, oh, you know, the seas are rising. I pulled this one up because I thought this one was really kind of cool. This kind of shows you what's happened to Antarctica over the many decades, so starting at 1900. Now, when you see over on both east and west, those are volcanoes. We now know, particularly over on the west side of it, there are, they estimate 3 or 4 huge volcanoes, and you can actually see the impact of what's taking place. So a little bit of history today here. Thought we'd have fun. So let's continue. I'm having fun. Okay. This one is, let me stop this and get you guys so you can see what I'm seeing. Who's driving the bus, man? Me. All right. So this is LASCO 3. This is the same event that solar flare that went off, and you're going to see from a different satellite perspective just how enormous this event really was. You can go to heliosviewer.org. You can actually look at this, folks. A full halo eruption, vast amount of, you know, material. It's just, I think sometimes we just don't fully grasp what size of the universe we live in. Boy, I had 2 things there. That was funny. Okay, we continue. Let me go to, oh, we talked about the pink, the blood moon, I wanted to show you what happens when forest fires hit. I had the event here, oh, what was it? About, I think it was 2015, the state of Colorado was on fire, and the fires got so close to us. So I took out my camera and tripod and wanted to show you what the effects can look like when you get atmospheric debris. This was the sun. It's actually about, right before the sun was setting. And you can see that it should have been bright, but it was not. It was very dark. But some most unusual pictures that you can really get. The smoke was very dense, but isn't that cool? I know, I'm just, it's kind of free form in this, but just some interesting pictures, because I've seen pictures of planets that look like this. And I'm going, but wait a minute. No, I took this right out my own backyard. But it is quite spectacular, isn't it? Shows you how easily we can get, how shall we say, confused or sometimes mesmerized. Oh, I still have more to go. Let's go over to this. We'll stay with Soho. Where are you, Soho? All right. So one of the things, as I have talked about, that I have always found spectacular was the early days of Secchi, when we were allowed to see probably the most spectacular show on the planet. And I kid you not, folks, when I was deeply into this research, we were, oh, what happened here? Give me a second here. There I am. So let me pull this up. So this is, we can't get this camera anymore. They shut it down. Serial B, H12. Now, pay attention to this obfuscation. This is Earth, by the way, here. And let's watch this. You can see 2007, April. And boy, did we get a show that day, that month. Watch what happens here. You can see it coming. If any of you have not seen this before, you will find it rather fascinating. And I wanted to get you an introduction. We don't know this right here. So let's take a peek at another video that I think you will find rather interesting. It's Friday. Come on, folks. So I went and the buff that I am, I love these things. So let me pull this up. So what I did is inverted this. And now we're into the month of May. These things, the amount of space that they covered was impressive. But I'll let the video continue to show you what happens. As he goes, okay, let's run the tape, please. There we go. All right, now watch. You know, have another, order some more coffee. Notice that our craft, which is planet size, by the way, whatever this, you'll see it. It becomes so well defined, it definitely looks like a solar sail to me. And, you know, I have to believe, I firmly do believe that there is intelligence out there that have conquered space, that use space as a medium of travel, exploration. I think that there's advanced technology that exists. Now watch. You tell me. All right, so it stops there. You have to understand, I was just literally recording this. Here we go. As he says, all right. And it's still moving. We're actually in real time as it was downloaded. Check that out, folks. And look at the peripheral boundary out here. That's supposed to be darkness. Never could quite figure out what was doing the oscillation in the background of the universe, whatever this was. And you can see whatever this was is being either pushed or propelled by the object right here. The Earth actually pulsates. You can see it. It actually has a heartbeat. And when you slow it down, literally when you're getting frame by frame, it's very interesting, isn't it? I mean, I love this stuff. I mean, it's like, all right, this is better than watching television, you know? Well, this is what our satellites are, you know, this in this case, the telescope that was on Secchi when it was still working. And you can see how it begins to hit the Birkeland current of Earth. Yeah, it's very, very weird. I know. And let me continue. As we watch this thing, it just becomes really weird. Is it a craft? Don't know. Never have figured this out. Yellow Rose of Texas, she absolutely believes that this was the galactic battle that was taking place. And the evidence shows that there was something definitely going on. Now, this is in the red, infrared. You can see the pulsating that takes place. This is in 3D. And there is whatever you want to call it. You see, some people tried to say it was a lens anomaly, but the evidence shows different. And what we're doing on this is that we have a stereo perspective and we're breaking down the elements into a 3D perspective. And you can clearly see this object. It has effect on environment around it. And here you're seeing it come into frame over here. And look at the pulsating in the background. So, you know, I contend that there's things in our universe that we just don't know about. And it is weird. It definitely is weird. Let me see. I have some others here. Hope some of you find this. All right. Yeah, this is a good one. All right. Let's get you back over here. There we go. All right. So let me get me. So here's another perspective. When I found these and I started doing the research, it just fascinated the daylights out of me. It just like, well, all right, so what are we examining here? Now notice how we see there is something even larger than the planet. I always have found this fascinating. See? I don't know. I do find it odd. to say the least. I hope everyone's having a good time. I don't know. I am. I find this stuff fascinating. Here is another. I've kept this one. This is stereo A, back in the day. So check this one out. I hope I'm all right. Let's roll the tape. So I believe one of these is Venus. I think I'll have to go back and look at my notes. But you can see what we found was that there was times when we could capture these, and this is really was the strange one. Look at that. Let me get back there so you can see it. All right. There you go. What the hell is this? You're going to tell me it's a lens flare from the camera? You know, Philo said that even in space itself that there were objects. Many philosophers of the golden time. You can see this is August 2007. I don't know. I find this, these cameras are no longer operational, so kind of sucks, that we don't get to see this. I'm just trying to pull up random footage here for you. That isn't anything. Okay, let's go over here. Oh, yeah. So in the early days of Sechi, the shows were spectacular. Short durations, but heck, are you kidding me? We were just enjoying what the heck was going on. And I'm sure that the folks at the Naval Observatory were seeing the same stuff that we were and going, all right, let's just say it's camera on all of these. We haven't, we haven't quite adjusted the cameras. So we got pictures like this. Again, this is February 2007. Now the bird went up in 2006 in December. So I always kind of figured that, when you first turn it on, that's what you're really seeing, but you check it out yourself. Now, the one thing that I find odd about this sequence is something that caught my eye that said, we're seeing something more than what's going on here. I want you to know that this object, and I'm not sure if this is Earth or which planet it is. I have my notes on these, but check out this. What is emanating from the planet here? Look at this. There it is right there. You see it? I mean, it's like a bat out of hell. And you can just see, look at the size of the Birkeland current. And you can see there it is. It's a solid object. And the trajectory is all wrong. I mean, if you're going to stay on the plane, this one here is obviously heading out. And as you can see, it's weird. Now, where is the object? What happened here? Again, we're taking frames of this. There's nothing there, right? Now, everything is gone. We have a Birkeland current still, but we don't have anything except this little blue whatever it is. It's the strangest thing when you break these things down frame by frame. The background, stars, everything. I mean, if you were setting a mosaic, a tapestry of a background, there it is. But watch what happens. And then we get the reaction. And it's, though something, our sun, but as you can see, everything is just off on the scale. Now, did you see what happened here? Let me just push this back a little bit because it's very odd. All right, so watch this. I missed it. And then we have this little object here. It's right here. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. And here it is right here. I mean, it's hauling ass. Look at this. Anyway, stranger things have happened. Sure. Well, anyway, it's strange stuff. I know it. I have looked at this stuff for so long that some of it just, well, what is going on? The early days were fun. I am convinced. I thought Yellow Rose was right in some of her analyzing what was taking place. To me, it was without a doubt something was going on in our solar system. And today, here we are in 2019, as I look back now, and you see this nearly 12 years ago, the strangeness that we find our planet in today, the situation that we find humanity in today. I mean, I'm convinced that if the interview with the alien, was in any way had any foundation, and there's just a myriad of other incidences, I think we are, in fact, I think Ariel may have been right. There is a battle going on. I think we're ascending. I think that there is just a congealing of many different things. And, now Rose seemed to think that the opposing party was pushed out. I don't know. I think that the battle's still going. That's just my opinion, and you can have yours, but I am convinced. I have archives. Was diligent and during back in those days to download all of it, do multiple backups, because I knew one day would happen where, that stuff would not be seen. So what do you do? All right, folks. Yeah, Pamela, I think we are winning. I think we are. It's entertaining. Next week, we're going to get back into the thing. We'll have Lois on Monday, and Tuesday we got Talking with the Planets. Wednesday we have Trina, and we're going to continue to explore this. Things are happening. They're happening. My show last night on the Artist First Network, if you haven't listened, go listen to it, was simply talking about the changes. I mean, the one constant we do have that we know, change is inevitable. And change is upon us. We're in change right now. I think the question is, what kind of change? Is it for the benefit of ourselves, of our species? Is it, something malevolent? Is there something that we're not even aware of? I don't know. But when you look up into the sky, it's far out. That's all I got to say. Well, thank you, folks. Y'all are such good people. Even the ones who may not like the content, you're beautiful. And I appreciate it, whether it be good, whether it be, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all right. Don't overlook hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Brad. Hey, how are you, my friend? The heavens are awakening. That's all I can say. And I think it's going to get even stranger. I think there's going to be more of us seen. Earlier this week, there was 3 of the triangle, the TR3s. I guess they're not going to be, I guess at some point in time, I guess they're going to bring them out. But I think the heavens, I have captured things above my house that I'll bring those out that, they didn't look like ours, but maybe they are. Who knows? All right, folks, be good to yourself. See you on Sunday over on Jeff Doherty's channel. make sure to tune in. It's going to be a good one. I think we're going to have a good conversation. We were texting back each other on an incident dealing with our president, and I think it's going to be a good discussion. Folks, be good to yourself. Love yourself. I love you. Thank you. Battlestar Galactic. Thank you, Al. That's what that ship looked like. There was a ship. Yeah, anyway, I digress. Wow hour. Yeah, it's a wower hour. I like that cheesesteak. I make a sigil on that one. The wower hour. I think I'm like Krinsky, about the wabbit. All right. Love yourself. Laugh a lot. Folks, laugh as much as you can. When you screw up, laugh. It's all right. Just laugh at yourself. It's going to keep you healthier. You're going to be much more happier. And people will love you much more. All right. We'll see y'all later. Have a great, strong end of the week. Bye-bye.